stop worrying about the person that left you heartbroken. God has a better person for you. Yes, it's true. While heartache is an unfortunately common experience, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. In fact, there are plenty of people out there who have been through heartache and come out on the other side stronger. Sometimes, when someone we love leaves us, it can be really hard to move on. However, it's important to remember that God has a better plan for us. He knows what we're going through and is always working on our behalf. So, rather than focusing on the person who left us, we should focus on rebuilding our relationship with God. This will help us get through any tough times in our lives. Remember, God is always with you, and He has a better plan for you than anyone else. So don't worry about the person who left you heartbroken. Instead, focus on moving on and trusting in God's love for you. We may obsess over what we could have done differently or how life would have been better if they were still around. But, in the end, God has a better person for us. And, even if that person is not currently with us, God always has a place in our hearts. So, stop worrying about the person that left you heartbroken and start focusing on your relationship with God. You're not alone, and God has a plan for you. God is always with us, even when we're feeling down. When someone we love leaves us, it can be really hard to move on. There are all sorts of doubts and fears that creep into our mind. But, in the end, God is always with us. He is always there for us, no matter what. Even when we're feeling down and lost, God is still there. He is always ready to comfort us and guide us through our journey of healing. So, stop worrying about the person that left you heartbroken and start focusing on your relationship with God. He will be there for you every step of the way. I know that there are moments in our lives when we feel like everything is falling apart. We're filled with sadness, anger, and confusion. We question our faith and why things keep happening to us. And worst of all, we blame ourselves for the person who left us heartbroken. But even in the darkest times, remember that God is always with us. He's never forgotten us, no matter what happened between you and the person who left you. He's still working on your heart, preparing it for a new relationship that will be better than the one that ended. And believe me, there is someone better out there for you. Don't give up on love, it's worth fighting for. It can be hard to get past the pain and devastation that comes with a broken heart. But remember, God always has a plan for your life, even if you don't see it at the moment. In this video, we'll explore how to get started living in accordance with God's plan for your life after a breakup, and learn some valuable lessons along the way. How to get started living in accordance with God's plan for your life after a breakup, and learn some valuable lessons along the way. When you're grieving the loss of a relationship, it can be hard to focus on anything else. But if you want to move on and find a new relationship that is in line with God's plan for your life, it's important to start small. Here are 4 steps to help you get started. 1. Make a list of what you need in a new relationship. This will help you prioritize your search and focus on what is most important to you. Some things to think about might include compatibility, shared values, emotional connection, and physical attraction. 2. Set some boundaries with your new partner. If they are not compatible with some of your core values or don't share similar interests, be upfront about it from the start. 3. Don't be afraid to take some time for yourself. It's easy to get pulled back into your old relationships when we're trying to rebuild them, but taking time for yourself will help you stay healthy and happy. Find things that make you happy outside of your old relationship and spend time doing them. This could involve spending time with friends or family, practicing your hobbies, or pursuing your interests. 4. Keep an open mind. If someone you're dating expresses interest in exploring a relationship further, be open to it. You never know what could happen if you give someone a chance. These steps may seem difficult at first, but by following them you will be on your way to finding a new relationship that is in line with God's plan for your life. Remember, it's okay to take your time in healing from a breakup. It may take a while to find the right person, and there is no rush. Stick with these steps, and you will be on your way to a happy and fulfilling future. Also, remember that God will never let you down and He will always be there for you no matter what. You may be feeling battered and bruised after someone walked away from you. You may feel like the world is against you and that no one can give you what you need. But don't worry, God has a better person for you. He will bring you back into His love and care, whether that person is currently in your life or not. Trust Him to mend your heart and restore your faith in relationships. Sometimes when a person breaks our heart, it feels like the universe is conspiring against us. But the truth is, God has a better person for you. In fact, He has a plan for your future that is way better than anything that could have come from that relationship. When you're feeling down about the loss of someone, remember that it's okay to be sad. Grief is a natural response to loss, and it's important to allow yourself time to process what's happened. Don't try to tough it out. Give yourself permission to feel all the emotions that come with being heartbroken. Sometimes we focus so much on trying to get through the hurt by ourselves that we lose sight of God's presence and support. Reach out to Him in prayer and ask for His help during this difficult time. And also very important, don't forget that you're not alone. People experience grief in different ways, but there is always someone out there who understands what you're going through. Connect with those people and find avenues of support that work best for you. And remember that there is a future ahead of you. Even though the person you lost may no longer be in your life, that doesn't mean you have to give up on the future. God has a plan for you, and it will be better than anything that could have come from that relationship. Lean on Him and trust that He will see you through this difficult time. Finally, if you're feeling really down and hopeless, it's okay to reach out to a professional. A therapist or counselor can offer you support and guidance as you work through your grief. Even though the person you lost may no longer be in your life, that doesn't mean you have to give up on the future. God has a plan for you, and it will be better than anything that could have come from that relationship. Lean on Him and trust that He will see you through this difficult time. If someone has broken your heart, don't worry. God has a better person for you. In fact, you might be the one that God is calling to Himself right now. He's waiting for you to open up and let Him in. Stop settling and start trusting that God has a plan for your life even when it seems like everything is crumbling around you. It can be really hard to get over a broken heart. We tend to worry about who left us and how we're going to survive. But remember, God has a better person for you. He is always there for you, no matter what. He will never let you down and will always be there to help you through your tough times. So don't worry, God is still on your side. Start trusting that He has a plan for your life and stop settling. This will help you to feel better and more confident in the future. Stop worrying about the person that left you heartbroken. God has a better person for you. Talk to someone about your feelings. Talking about our feelings is one of the best things we can do for ourselves. It allows us to work through our emotions and figure out a way to move on. Talking to a friend, family member, or therapist can be really helpful in this process. Just be sure that you are comfortable with the person you choose to talk to and don't hesitate to reach out if you need assistance. Write down your feelings. Sometimes it's hard to verbalize our feelings, especially when they are still raw. Writing them down can help us process them and start moving on. Whether you write a journal or simply make a list of your thoughts, writing is a great way to get things off of your chest. Take some time for yourself. Sometimes the best way to move on from a broken heart is to take some time for yourself. This might mean taking a break from work, hanging out with friends who aren't related to the person who left you, or even just spending time in nature. Just make sure that you don't forget about yourself. Give yourself the space and time that you need to heal. It's okay to feel pain and sadness. While moving on from a broken heart is definitely not easy, it is possible. And, importantly, it is okay to feel both pain and sadness. These feelings are natural and should be allowed to flow through us without inhibition. Only then can we start to heal and begin to build the new relationship that God has for us. When someone we love leaves us, it feels like our world is crashing down. But if you're anything like me, you'll spend the next few weeks wondering what you did wrong and whether or not you can ever find happiness again. But here's the thing, God has a better plan for your life than whatever you're going through right now. He's not going to leave you alone, and He's not going to let anyone hurt you that you can't handle. In fact, He's already started working on fixing things and rebuilding your life. So stop worrying about the person that left you heartbroken and start trusting that God has a better person for you. He knows what's best for you, and He'll lead you through this tough time. Hallelujah.